Welcome to the 3 for 3 podcast. I am Paul Teach Nelson, joined as always by Alex the Podfather Gullet,
Yeah.
aka Vito Corleone, aka Vito Benito,
Vito Pelosi.
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Again, we might be 2 for 2, but with you guys at home, we are the 3 for 3 podcast. We're going to be cutting it up. A lot of college football, a lot of NFL. We're going to get into some other stuff too. We got basketball season coming.
We've got a really good episode tonight.
There's
really
got a lot of stuff to get
This
through.
week's episode, I think, is going to be like I'm more excited about recording tonight and the material, like the talking points, than I have been in probably a week.
A week since last. Listen, I just want to jump in and say this. Other podcasts have fiction. We have facts. Okay. They want to talk about their dreams. We talk fantasy. Okay. They act cool. We get heated sometimes.
We do.
We're not here for clicks.
No.
We are here for clicks. So make sure you follow.
We're not playing for clicks. We play for clicks.
We are playing for clicks. Make sure you click the subscribe button. Make sure you follow us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all our socials. Hit our Facebook page. Interact with us because, again, you guys drive the boat. All right. We're just here.
Yeah.
Now, listen, we had a lot of college football to talk about, right?
We do.
And we are at that point. Listen, at school, we are at the point where report cards come out next week.
They do.
So I want to give some grades out.
Let's do some grades. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, why don't you hit me with the team? I'm going to go ahead and give the grade out. All right.
Absolutely. So in old Teach fashion, we're going to give some grades out. I'm going to say the team name. You're going to give the grade, give an explanation why. Then we're going to keep it moving. Okay. So grades. Colorado Buffaloes.
Listen, the Colorado Buffaloes struggled last week, and you called it. You said if they play the way they did, like they did against Colorado State, they were going to get boat raced.
Peep the soundbite.
Check out the last pod because that's exactly what he said. They were missing Travis Hunter, who I think could have provided a spark, but the only positive thing to come out of that game was the fact that it was a primetime game with Coach Prime. 10 million viewers again this week.
Crazy.
They get a D-. D-. They weren't able to do anything offensively. They weren't able to do anything defensively. What do you think?
Yeah, I think D- fits. I think, hey, listen, I think it doesn't take anybody surprised. Even Coach Prime said it. Hey, listen, we don't have D1 athletes on the line yet. And that's offensive line, defensive line that showed up big time.
Let's go the other one, right? Let's go Oregon.
Yeah,
right.
Oregon. So Oregon, who just pummeled, 42-6.
That was bad.
Colorado, what's your grade for Oregon?
Oregon is the complete opposite. They did everything right. Oregon could move the ball. They threw the ball. Old man Bo Nix was looking spry, awful spry.
I love how during the broadcast, the announcers kept saying, the most experienced guy in college football. And I was just talking about how he's 42 and playing football in the NCAA.
He actually played against Deion Sanders, I think, his rookie year.
That's right, yeah.
So, we're giving Oregon an A+. Oregon gets an A+. They look like they could be the team to beat in the Pac-12, but the Pac-12 is loaded. There's tons of teams in the Pac-12.
Yeah, there are tons of teams in the Pac-12. I mean, I think you hit it on the head. Oregon, I think they showed out. They showed the nation exactly what they were about. I love their coach's philosophy. He says, look, it's us against us. It's not us against them. We're not going to lose this game unless we beat ourselves. And so A+, I think that's fair. I would have went A- just because I think the competition wasn't there, but A+ is good. You ready to give out another grade?
Yes.
All right, let's move on. So that was the Oregon Ducks. We're going to move on to UCLA.
Speaking of Oregon Ducks, former Duck Chip Kelly.
Yes.
I mean, look, he went to the NFL. It worked for a hot minute. Then he went back to college football. Everybody thought that he was going to make USC this powerhouse. From what I've seen now, he's been there a couple years, and it's just not working. They are vanilla ice cream, which, listen, I'm a big guy. I like vanilla ice cream. But this isn't good vanilla ice cream. This is back of the freezer burn mediocre. I'm going to give them D+, C-. They're right there. Depends on if I like the kid or not, I guess.
Yeah, and I think C- is pretty. That's a sliding grade. What do you call that in teaching?
It's a curve.
Yeah, you're throwing a curve. You're giving a curve
Ultimate
on that one
curve
because
grade.
Listen, I think Chip Kelly's biggest knock was he's not good at relationships.
No.
NFL players had a problem with it. You see college players having a problem with it. And I think it's written all over that team.
He's right there. I mean, you have LA athletes.
You do.
You should be definitely being able to bring people just roll in.
So UCLA, C- your final grade?
C- for UCLA.
All right, let's move on to Utah. This one I think is interesting. I can't wait to hear your take on the Utes, okay? So Utah grade, college football, Utah.
The Utah Utes are an interesting team because They are still without, I think, their emotional leader of the team, quarterback Cam Rising.
Yeah.
Rose to the occasion last year, still out with the ACL injury. No disrespect to Nate Johnson. No disrespect at all. Maybe a little disrespect. The team just doesn't play that well behind him. He's not able to make the same plays that Cam Rising was able to last year. So I'm going to give them a B-. They were barely above UCLA during that game.
They ride their defense pretty well.
They
I think
do.
they know who they are. They know what talent they're working with. I think I would have went B. I wouldn't have gone B-, but I think B- is fair for what they're doing. Not like huge, great performances the last couple of weeks, right?
No, not at all. I mean, they seem to be treading water, waiting for their quarterback to come back. Now, it could be this week, could be a huge week for them.
Yeah.
Another strong Pac-12 team. I mean, it's like you said, the best college football right now is played on the West Coast.
Oh, they definitely had the best quarterbacks, and we'll get into that later. Speaking of kind of mid-level football, let's move on to Ole Miss. And I hate to say it like that, but give me a grade on Ole Miss.
Ole Miss football had the perfect opportunity to take another step forward. You're catching an Alabama team that does not look like a typical Alabama team.
Yeah.
So this was their opportunity to really make plays. Before the season, they had national title hopes. And it starts with, again, the quarterback, former USC Trojan, Jackson Dart. One of the coolest names in football, Jackson Dart.
That is great. You're a quarterback throwing darts. His last name's Dart.
Throwing darts.
Make it work, kid.
He was a great high school prospect. He hasn't shown that he can be anything more than just a guy, not the guy. I feel bad for Lane Kiffin. Again, middling. I'm going to give them a C+ because early in the game, they looked good.
Do we really feel bad for Lane Kiffin?
I do. I think college football is better when Lane Kiffin's out there throwing his hands up, knowing that a touchdown is going to be a touchdown before it happens.
Okay, that's fair. I don't feel bad for Lane Kiffin, but that's me. Okay, move on. Speaking of, it was their chance to take over Alabama. Let's move on next to your one and only college football. No, you're a Bills fan. No, you're a Yankees fan, but you're also a Bama boy. Okay, so let's talk about Bama.
Alabama football. I don't know what I'm doing with them this year. Jalen Milroe, I have a love-hate relationship with him.
Yeah, you do. Every week it's the conversation.
The defense looks amazing. You shot a tweet. We were going back and forth college Saturday, and you said it's a shame what this team is doing to this defense because this defense is awesome. I'm going to give them a B+, but really they have a Jekyll and Hyde situation with quarterback. If Jalen Milroe just goes out there and performs averagely, this team could be a top 10 football team still. Yeah. But as for right now, Bama, you got a B+, and you're lucky at that. That's because I like you.
B+ for a team that's outside of the top 10 right now.
Yes.
For the season, I wouldn't have went B+ for the season. B+ last week, defense showed out. They were able to come out with the win. And listen, there were a lot of people in the media and college football broadcasters were saying, hey, this is Ole Miss's chance. They're going to come in. They're going to beat Bama. This is the year. Bama doesn't look right. And their defense stepped up and did what they needed to do. So, look, I think B+ for this week. For the year, I got to go C- right now. Okay, listen, we got to put it together. The world expects, the college football world expects more from Alabama. And we all know football's better when Alabama is at least in the game. It really is.
College football, listen, we have a whole generation of people who don't know what Alabama football used to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's 15 years of greatness.
Yeah.
So I get your C- score. It's the wrong score. This is a team that got beat by Texas. Yes, it was in Tuscaloosa, but they don't deserve to be dropped down that much. I would still take them on an even field against most of these other teams that we've talked, except for Oregon. Yeah. I mean, I would take them ahead of UCLA. I would take them ahead of Utah. I would take them ahead of Colorado. So and a couple of these other teams coming up. So I say B+. Maybe I'm too invested. Maybe maybe I've taught this kid a couple years now. Maybe that I coached him baseball. Yeah, it's a real thing, but we'll take it.
I don't think I take it over Oregon. I don't think
no,
so.
I don't think so either, but every other team.
Okay, yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. Okay, good point.
You let us know in the comments, okay? Am I being too nice to Alabama, or is Podfather being too harsh to him?
Yeah. One of the two are happening. Okay. Speaking of Oregon beating Alabama, which hasn't happened, but I think we would both take Oregon. Oregon State. Go ahead and give me a grade on Oregon State.
So Lee Corso took a lot of hell for saying
he really did.
This is the bowl game no one watches.
The no one watch bowl game.
The no one watch bowl. Let me tell you, okay? Let me just clear the air.
Thanks for the comment of the year, Lee.
Lee's spot on because there was 1.8 million people that watched this,
Yeah.
as opposed to 10 million that watched Notre Dame and Ohio State,
Yeah.
and 10 million that watched Colorado. Oregon.
Yeah.
So he's not wrong. Oregon State, you got a B minus. Again, it's a great offense. The DJ Ugalele, the transfer from Clemson, still doing mediocre stuff. He's still, again, he looks like an overhyped quarterback.
I was going to say overhyped a little bit, right?
Super overhyped. And he came out, everybody thought he was going to be the next guy.
It was a big story.
It was huge. Hey, Clemson is actually going to be better off when T-Law leaves. And you go, this guy has done absolutely nothing. Oregon State, again, will they win 6 games? Yeah, they'll probably win 6 or 7 games. B minus.
B minus. I think that's fair. Washington State. This one's interesting because I can't figure them out. Are they great? Are they not good? I don't know.
Washington State could be the best team in college football.
It's crazy.
I don't think they are.
It's crazy.
I think they could be. Now you deserve, you need to go ahead and issue an apology because Cam Ward, you were hating on him week 1. You were like, listen, who's their quarterback? Cam Ward.
I did. I said that.
Cam Ward. You said it with such disdain.
I did.
He looked good. Now they look super one-dimensional, but that one dimension is killer. All right, they can throw the ball.
Yeah, they throw the ball up and down the field. No apology yet, Cam Ward. You still got a lot to prove, but kid, you're playing good football. I mean, I couldn't play it for sure.
I'm going to give him a solid B, and that's just because I don't want Ryan Leaf in my tweets. You better watch out. Ryan Leaf's going to come after you like he did Lee. All right, he went after Lee Corso hardcore, called him a windsock. You better listen, Ryan. If you want to come on, please come on. Nobody's going to make fun of you. We're not going to talk about your past. We'll just talk Wazoo football. Go Cougs.
I'm not going to let Ryan Leaf come after me. I'm sure I can get a Timo San Diego Chargers jersey for like 38 cents and keep it moving.
Listen, man,
not to stir up anything.
I wasn't doing draft grades back then, but I thought he was a great prospect. I'm not saying I would have had him over Peyton Manning, but go Cougs. Go Cougs.
Speaking of Ryan Leaf, Iowa. Okay, not they have anything in common, but Iowa. Grade for Iowa.
Iowa football stinks. They stink. This is very unusual for a Kirk Ferentz team. Maybe it's not. They couldn't do anything well. They lost 31-0 to Penn State.
Not what it was supposed to be this year, though.
No, this year it was, we're going to surprise people.
Yeah.
Watch out. Usually Iowa Hawkeyes sneak up on teams. This year, they weren't sneaking up on anybody, and Penn State smacked them in the mouth. They're one of the, I think, 2 teams that I'm giving an F to. Yes, you failed.
Wow.
Completely.
Harsh grade teach from an F to Penn State. Now, this one, look, Penn State's playing Penn State football. I'm excited to see it. I'm a Penn State fan. Loved him. I mean, LeVar Arrington came out of Penn State. I mean, he was a great linebacker. But there's another guy that came out of Penn State, probably a little better than LeVar Arrington. His name's Micah Parsons, okay? Yeah, linebacker Penn State. Go ahead and give me your grade on Penn State.
Shout out Paul Posluszny, former Bill. Linebacker, right? Linebacker U.
Could there be a more Buffalo Bill name?
Paul Posluszny.
Yeah, you had Pete Metzelaars. You had Paul Posluszny. You had.
Listen, I'm giving Penn State football. Let's see. I'm giving them an A+. I think they looked just as good as Oregon did.
Yeah.
Offensively, defensively, they have the top tackle in the country, right? And Olu Fashanu, right? They have this quarterback who probably should have started instead of Sean Clifford last year.
Absolutely. I agree.
Drew Aller is moving up the Heisman boards. We might be talking about Drew Aller later today. He had, can I do my best Podfather impression?
Yeah, for sure.
He had 4 tutties.
He
had 4 tutties.
Yeah. I took that from Gronk. But,
he did.
Yeah.
Penn State looks great. They look fantastic. And considering how Iowa State looked in their game, Penn State might just win the Big Ten this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
This might be the year.
This is the year. Moving on from Penn State, who I used to love as a kid, right? I was a Penn State fan before.
I want to ask real quick.
Yeah.
Penn State or Oregon? Neutral field, who you got right now?
I'm leaning toward Oregon, but I think it's just because they popped against Colorado. I think Penn State may be the better football team. But Oregon has the most experienced guy in college football, and that the game has slowed down a lot for Bo Nix right now.
It has,
and it was evident watching, not just last week's game, but a couple of games they've played so far. The kid looks good. He is so far above his old self before he transferred into Oregon. It's crazy.
These teams, listen, if that's the national championship we get, Oregon versus Penn State,
that's great.
I'm not mad at it.
That's a great game.
Not
Great
mad
game.
at it at all.
All right. Going on from let's go to Ohio State. This is now preface this with Coach. Okay, Coach has been on the Ohio State bandwagon for the last 2 years since he became a college football fan, right?
True.
And so
It's a LeBron James thing.
Marvin Harrison Jr. They had Justin Fields, CJ Stroud came in afterwards. Like they've had a good run the last few years. Okay. Tell me about this year, though. Ohio State right now.
Ohio State football is a shadow of who they were the last few years. Coach, I'm sorry. We love you. It's got to be breaking your heart to watch Ohio State. They do not have the hype anymore. Ryan Day doesn't have the hype. I get they beat Notre Dame.
They did.
In an ugly, old-school defensive game.
Should have easily lost that game.
They should have. Marvin Harrison Jr. went down, but they have, again, Easy E is their second wide receiver who looks great. You need to find a way. Ryan Day needs to find a way to get his playmakers involved in the game.
Yeah, and he needs to do it early. You can see they have no identity on offense. They can't figure it out. Listen, Marvin
ran
Harrison,
the ball well, but you have the two best wide receivers in college football.
Yeah, and I think they were so hyped going into the season. I mean, literally multiple. I mean, everybody had Marvin Harrison as top 3 Heisman hopeful going into the season. How long has Vince, the wide receiver, ever won that award?
Devontae Smith. But before that, it was years and years and years.
Years and years and years, right? And so when you look at that, it was like, man, it was really exciting to see what Ohio State was going to do. I feel bad for Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what his draft stock looks like after this year's offense. I don't imagine it would go outside the top 10.
I think he's still a top 3 pick.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be relevant conversation if the year progresses the way it is right now and the offense looks like it does.
Ohio State, D. But you know what? D's a passing grade.
D is a passing grade.
D's a passing grade. Sometimes
D will get you past Notre Dame.
Listen, D will get you a degree because Notre Dame football.
Yeah,
we're going to go ahead and just give them the F.
Yeah, gotcha.
We're going to give them the F.
Your boy Sam Hartman.
I love Sam Hartman. Yeah. Wears his rib on a necklace. You know, not when he plays, he doesn't want to hurt anybody, but wears his own former removed rib as a necklace. He's just a bro. He's just
an Adam and Eve thing.
No, definitely not an Adam and Eve. It's just a bro thing. All right, that's dude code,
caveman style.
But you know why they get the F? It's because it took 11 to play the game, and you sent 10.
Yeah, definitely.
And I get what the coach is saying. We didn't want to get a penalty by having
play of the game.
You can't do that.
No,
you can't do that. That is such a rookie coaching move.
Those are coaching mistakes, right?
Correct.
Those aren't player mistakes. Those are coaching mistakes. Anytime you have too many men on the field, not enough men on the field, you hate to see 10 men line up at goal line formation in the last play of the game, and then Ohio State gets it into the end zone. But
it's an ugly game.
It was
a bad game to watch. I watched it for 3 hours, and I went, I didn't want to watch this at all.
I think F is harsh. I think right now I have Hartman in my top 7 or 8 Heisman hopeful right now.
I think Notre Dame can still be in title
good
contention.
Football. I don't think they're that good this year. And I've told you previously on the podcast, and somebody actually came on social media and said the same thing to us yesterday or today. Hey, every time Notre Dame's relevant in conversation,
whenever they're hyped,
they blow it up. And I think you're going to see that again this year. I just don't think they're as good as maybe some of the competition they've played that we have seen them play.
They have some other big games this year, so they can turn it around. If they can win out and be a one-loss team, they could sneak in.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. But that, talking about one-loss teams, right? Let's go to Clemson. Clemson had a tough matchup with Florida State today, this week. What's your grade on Clemson right now? Dabo's got his hands full.
I had B down. Clemson Tiger football, a B. But the more I look at it, you go, I think this is just an average team.
B is very generous. I saw your notes and I saw a B. I was like, I don't know.
I think this might be one of those. I scratch it out. I do a grade change form and to say, I'm going to throw a C- on there.
Do you use whiteout tape, whiteout glue, whiteout strips? Like, well, how's that go?
Neither. It's all electronic now. So I just go click, click. All right, we'll just
backspace delete.
That's it. Yeah. Florida State hammered him. And I mean that defense hammered him. I was hurting at home sitting on the couch, right? And I was going, golly, how does Cade Klubnik get up from some of these hits?
Well, even watching the game, it never seemed as close as it was on the scoreboard.
No.
You could always tell that Florida State was just a little bit better of a team.
The offensive play caller, Garrett Riley, this is his first year as OC there. He missed 2 huge opportunity calls.
Yeah.
2 minutes left. They clearly can't stop anything. and he tries a pass play instead of letting the clock run and giving him
That's right.
a minute and 20 seconds left, kicking a field goal to go ahead.
Crazy.
It was just, listen, he showed his true colors. He's going to take some lumps. I get that. It's a sad state of affairs from a guy who was the offensive coordinator at TCU a year ago and took him to the national
Yeah, they were very lucky to be those 2 calls away from winning the game. I think Florida State scored. They slid by with one, but I for one like Florida State and what they have going on. I'm interested to see what your grade would be for Florida State football right now.
I'm still not convinced. Florida State to me is in that same category as Notre Dame historically. Whenever we hype them up, Florida State craps the bed.
Couple good years, couple solid years.
Yes. Again, there are kids in college and post-grad degrees who have no idea what a good Florida State team.
In the early 2000s.
Jimbo Fisher, Jameis Winston winning the title in an odd year.
It was a year Jameis stole crab legs.
Crab legs for everybody. I'm giving him a B+.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not convinced they're an excellent team yet. Jordan Travis looks awesome.
I do like their quarterback.
They can't run the ball worth anything, but you don't need to if you got Jordan Travis.
Yeah, I think he's doing the Josh Allen impersonation in college right now.
I'm gonna wait. Okay, I'm gonna wait.
Wait on that. But I'm just saying, like, I think it's pretty. It measures up pretty well, though, right?
I don't think so. I think he's closer to what Deshaun Watson was doing.
You think
at Clemson? Yes, I think he's that kind of dual threat athlete. Remember, Josh Allen, we didn't see much at Wyoming.
Josh Allen was sneaky athletic.
He is. Deshaun Watson's not. He's just athletic,
yeah.
But Josh Allen, he's sneaky. Jordan Travis, I think he's leaning more athletic than sneaky.
I think he's definitely athletic. Yeah.
So those are my grades. If I were looking at top 5 teams, right? Tell me if I'm crazy. I still have Georgia as number 1 with a bullet. I think, yes, they've looked shaky. They've looked sneaky at times, but I still think they're number 1.
Yeah.
I would put Ohio State number 2, even with their problems, because talent wins out. Give me above average skill players versus an above average quarterback and no skill players. I'm going to go Texas 3. Texas Longhorns have probably one of the better wins going into Tuscaloosa and beating Alabama. I'm going to put Florida State 4th and then Washington 5th.
Wow.
And that's just based on who's leading this team.
Wow.
I mean, we're talking some of the best players in college football.
Yeah, so just really quick, you having Ohio State in there after just giving them a D, listen, I think 2's high for Ohio State. I can probably think of 2 or 3 teams that I would put above Ohio State. I think as it sits right now, Michigan's going to be above Ohio State for me.
They haven't played anyone.
I know, but they're still a great team, and they got Corum at running back, J.J. McCarthy. I mean, the kid quietly is a Heisman hopeful right now.
Maybe
they haven't had their head coach all year.
True.
Right. And so that's nothing to slouch about in football. Right. I mean, coaching matters. You're missing a player. You're missing a coach like Harbaugh. Right.
Yeah.
And so I think Michigan's great. I think Oregon. I think we just saw Oregon offensively, defensively. Now, listen, Pac-12. I've never believed in Pac-12 against SEC. Okay. Sure. It's just one of those things. We've seen it a couple times. I mean, SEC proves time and time again that they are the football conference in college football.
Absolutely.
And so, but I think Texas, I'm with you on Texas. I believe in Texas.
Yep.
FSU, I think Penn State's better than FSU. I think Notre Dame may be better than FSU right now.
Wow. That's a bold take.
And Washington, I think Washington's up there 4 or 5.
I had trouble leaving Washington off top 2. Really, it's
tough.
They might be the second best team in college
football.
And these teams aren't playing anybody. Ohio State has listen. Georgia played South Carolina and they're defending champs. Until somebody comes along and beats them, you're the top dog. Okay?
Absolutely.
Ohio State beat Notre Dame, ranked team. Okay, that's fine in South Bend. Take that, right? Texas went to Tuscaloosa and beat them. FSU just beat Clemson, who's a perennial powerhouse.
2 of the best wins of the year.
Michigan. Sorry, you haven't played anybody. Okay, you haven't played anybody. Oregon, you kind of haven't played anybody. Colorado without Travis Hunter, you haven't played anybody.
I think Colorado's
like going into Michigan State and beating them, but Michigan State's a dumpster fire right now.
They are.
So this is a revolving door.
The only reason I say with Michigan is I like some of their players. I like what they're about, and we've seen them be great the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Never got over the hump, won the national championship, but we've seen them be great, right?
Yeah.
And now we're talking about a lot of these quarterbacks. We're talking about the J.J. McCarthys. We're talking about the Jordan Travises. I'm interested in this too. Like, while we're in college football, before we leave, Heisman top 5 teach.
I'm going to be quick.
You want to be quick?
I'm going to be quick.
Because ours aren't alike. We're not similar. We're slightly different.
We are. At 5 right now, I would put Shador Sanders.
Okay.
I think Shador has done enough. I think his stats are going to be there. I know he's not going to win many games, maybe 6 or 7, but I think RG3 had an 8-win season, won the Heisman. So 4, I'm going to put Jordan Travis there. I love what he's done since coming from Louisville. I think he's doing well. 3, I'm going to put your boy Bo Nix.
Yeah.
Experience pays off. It does. He's not an Auburn Tiger who's missing throws. He's actually finding people open.
Yeah.
2 and 1 are so tough. 2 and 1. I looked at ours and we were going, it's a coin toss. It's either Caleb Williams or Michael Penix. Right now, I would give it to Caleb Williams. I think he could be the first back-to-back winner since Archie Griffin.
Yeah.
So, but Michael Penix looks like an absolute stud. You know, he doesn't look when you watched Indiana football years ago, you looked at Michael Penix and said he's going to be something. And then now that he's transferred to a major program at Washington, he could be the guy. You know, I saw you. I had a couple names that you didn't have.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I'll go through mine. So your top 5 were top 5 Heisman Teach's top 5 Heisman hopefuls. You had Shador Sanders at number 5. You had Jordan Travis at number 4. You had Bo Nix at number 3. Michael Penix at number 2. And then you went with good old Caleb Williams at number 1. That's a legit list. There's nothing wrong with that list. But you know what you've done to me this year? You've transformed me into this college football fan that I've never been. And so we can have conversation right now against Heisman hopeful, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to give you the Podfathers top 5 right now.
Shoot it.
As it sits. At number 5, I have Jordan Travis, all right? Hey, good victory last week. He broke the Clemson curse. That's been a thing in Florida. 7 straight victories that Clemson had over Florida State. That's a thing, right? He's not the best-looking quarterback, but he's very much improved. And I think FSU is also. And if they could pull out that conference,
he's the new Tiger King. He slayed LSU and Clemson. He's the new Tiger King.
He's the new Tiger King. I love that. So
Jordan Travis, new Tiger King.
That's right. At number 4, I got Bo Nix, Old Faithful. It's experience. Can I call him Old Faithful?
Yes.
Yeah, we're just going to call him Old Faithful.
Nickname.
Yeah, Old Faithful. And that experience is paying off, man. The game looks really slow to him. I said it earlier. So it's slow for Bo. It's Old Faithful, man. That's number 4. At number 3, I went Quinn Ewers. He was off your list. But here's what I want to say. Texas football is back, and they're back in a big way.
They are.
Okay, Longhorns are 4-0 right now. And that's a lot to account for because of Ewers. That's a lot to account for viewers. You talked about the big win in Tuscaloosa. You talked about what Texas football is doing. Now, if he can lead them over, the remaining schedule is tough. Okay? If they can lead this team into playoff hopefuls, they've got to go through Kansas, 4-0. Oklahoma, who is one of your hopefuls.
Yes.
National championship hopefuls. Houston's no slouch.
No.
BYU's 3-1.
Right.
Kansas State's 3-1. TCU, they were only in the national championship last year. Bounce back, right? So they got a tough road in the Big 12. Yes. But I do like that team, and I like this quarterback. So he's at my number 3. At number 2, I went Caleb Williams. Look, this is what football looks like when an NFL-ready quarterback is playing college football in the Pac-12. Now, we've seen it a couple of times when NFL-ready quarterbacks are playing in FBS.
Yes.
We saw it Peyton Manning. We've seen it Andrew Luck.
Yep.
There's probably more out there. But those are the 2 that came off right off the top of my head.
Absolutely.
This is what it looks like. His stats, 0 interceptions, 11 touchdowns, 1,200 yards.
He's not playing many fourth quarters.
He's not playing fourth quarters. Like, the kid is just good. He's just doing what he wants to do. And everything comes so easy to this kid. But at number 1, I have him at number 2 because at number 1, I got to ask the question, is can he repeat? I don't know if the world will let him.
We just don't see it.
We don't see it. It just doesn't happen. And not that I don't understand it, because I think MVPs get played out. I think Heisman's get played out. You got to just switch it around a little bit, right? And Michael Penix deserves love this year.
Yes.
Right? He's the front runner. In my opinion, the front runner because of Caleb Williams winning last year. But I love this Huskies offense too. What they're doing is absolutely incredible. So, but they got Oregon coming up October 14th. Okay, they got USC coming up. So we're gonna have Old Faithful versus Michael Penix.
Yeah,
we're gonna have the Caleb Penix show. It's coming up, and that's at USC.
Yeah,
that's at USC, man. So, and he's still gonna play the Utes. So it could go downhill for Michael Penix very quickly.
College football is so fun this year.
Listen, if losses to Bo Nix happen, Caleb Williams happen, can we still give him the Heisman?
I think so.
If he's outplayed by both those quarterbacks, statistically, and he loses those games, Can Michael Penix still be the Heisman? That's a legit question. I'm
be
new to this. Tell me.
He can if he puts up ungodly numbers. If he puts up, again, RG3 type numbers,
Yeah.
then I can see it happening. Now there's other guys. I mean, I think you mentioned Hartman.
Yeah.
Right. I would say Cam Ward's in there, Jaden Daniels, LSU. This is still super early in the year. You know, we're going to look in a couple of weeks. We're going to regrade some of these.
We're a quarter out.
We're only a quarter out.
Yeah, we're only a quarter. Well, a quarter in, right? And so, yeah.
It's going to be it's going to be a fun October and November in college football.
It's going to be good.
Those guys play on Saturdays. Let's move over to the guys who play on Sundays. Yeah.
I love Sundays.
Listen, before we get into Podfather's best bets,
okay, we're going to do that.
Because you're going to hand them out.
We're going to do it again this week.
Free money to everybody.
I got 3 that are going to hit, guaranteed this week.
Guaranteed. let's just have some thoughts, right? So, NFL thoughts. Let's start with the NFC East, and I want to hear your thoughts. Just quick thoughts. Dallas Cowboys.
We're going to talk last week, or are we talking this season? Are we talking last week?
Either way, I would say whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Okay, so thoughts on the Dallas Cowboys. Listen, if I were buying stock in the Cowboys, I would not buy stock in last week's performance. We lost 28-16 in Arizona, and I say we because everybody knows I'm a diehard Dallas Cowboy fan. Here's what I'm saying. 3 offensive linemen were out.
Yes.
All 3 made the Pro Bowl. One's probably a Hall of Famer. That's Zach Martin. So you have beyond a shout, Zach Martin out, and then of course Tyron. Well, 2 of them were Hall of Famers. Zach Martin and Tyron Smith are Hall of Famers. Tyler Smith, left guard, his first game back for the season. Brandon Cooks came back this week.
Yes.
He's cold. Lot going on. Then you had the Trevon Diggs injury on Thursday, which is a deflating emotional thing that happens. You put on top of that you're going against the Cardinals, who you think they're the Cardinals, right?
Tanking never looks so good.
So we can sit 3 all-star offensive linemen, 2 Hall of Fame offensive linemen. We can start another guy, and we're going to be fine. And we weren't fine. What we saw was Dallas get manhandled in Arizona. And what I think hit me hard is Dallas traveling to Arizona is not even an away game.
No,
that's a home game. That's 70% Cowboys fans.
It's like every Chargers game is an away game, but even when it's at home.
I have 2 initial worries that I think roll over from last year. I think it's the same story, different year. And I hate as a Cowboy fan. I text you Sunday.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I finally figured it out. After 7 years, I finally get it. You can't trust Dak Prescott in the big moment.
No.
He's not the big moment guy. And that's absolutely heartbreaking for me to say as a Dak Prescott fan. But I think we've seen it time and time again where the offense sputters and you're going, the only common denominator is Dak Prescott. We've now changed offensive coordinators. We've changed coaches. We've changed running backs. We brought in new receivers. We've switched out a tight end. We built the offensive line. We've built the defense. The only common denominator is Dak Prescott. So that's number 1. That's my first worry. Dak Prescott along with the play calling on Mark McCarthy. Both of those are still very iffy to me. The red zone offense is atrocious.
Yes.
All right. For all year it has been. Even in game 2, we saw a little bit of it. Last week was even worse. 1 for 5 in the red zone. The second big question I had, and I mentioned it to you on draft night, Dallas needs to trade up and go for Jalen Carter right now. We can make a move right now. We have the assets. Make a move. Get Jalen Carter. Trade into the top 10. Get him at 9. You got to go before Philadelphia. We had this conversation multiple times. We sat back, and who did we draft?
Mozzie Smith.
We drafted Monty Smith. And I told you that night.
Yep.
And I told you that night, I said, I hate this draft.
Yep.
I hate this draft. And then you talked me into it, Teach.
I did.
And I woke up the next day. I was like, Teach may be right. This guy's a stud. I watched tape on him that night. I was like, he's a stud. He's an immovable object.
He still might be. But Jalen Carter's Jalen Carter.
Yeah. And, Monty Smith, you know how many snaps he played last week?
None.
15.
Oh, 15?
He played 15 snaps. And you say none because none of them popped off. None of them popped off the TV.
No.
0. You want to know why? Because we were gashed for 200-plus rushing yards.
Yes.
Same story, different year. Trevon Diggs goes out. That's going to hurt. But we got a lot of talent behind him. Deron Bland, Jordan Lewis. What do you pay these guys for? We brought in Stephon Gilmore.
Yeah.
Right? We're going to be okay. Donovan Wilson came back. Malik Hooker. Jaron Kearse. We're going to be okay. Micah Parsons. We're going to be okay.
Do you believe that?
No. I think we have a run defense problem.
Yes.
And I think it carried over from last year. Jonathan Hagan's isn't the answer. Monty Smith is not going to be the answer this year. He could be later on.
Yeah.
He's not the answer this year. He doesn't understand football yet to that level to be able to stop gap, that kind of thing. And so, listen, moving into week 4, I think better days are ahead for Dallas. But we had time to be realistic. They're not a top 3 team in the NFL.
I like it. I like it. Let's stay at Philly. All right. Can I give you some thoughts on Philly?
Yeah, go ahead. Give me Philly.
You mentioned it, Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
Baby Rhino is crazy. He's amazing. He's outstanding. I worry about that offense. They're getting used to not having Shane Steichen.
Yeah.
Bryden Jordan is trying Brian Johnson's trying his best. It looks sloppy, and they're getting it done.
It's a little sloppy,
but they're struggling. Why don't you let us know about Jersey? How about the Jersey Giants?
Yeah, how about those New Jersey Giants? Hey, listen, Jersey Giants, and we said it week 1, we've said it week 2, we said it week 3, we're going to say it again going into week 4. Pay the man, Daniel Jones, $160 million. I think the Giants are regretting that contract big time. And
absolutely,
they better hope Saquon comes back really quickly.
If I'm him, I don't know.
I don't know.
I have a lingering back thing. I
don't know either. Do you take the 1-year contract and keep it moving?
Let's wrap up the NFC East. Washington football. You have a new owner. You have a new quarterback, Sam Howell. He just doesn't look like that guy.
Yeah, welcome to the NFL, Sam Howell. He got his first taste of what big defeat looked like against the Buffalo Bills, and that happened at home.
Yes.
That happened at home. And so Billy Gosnell, shout out to you. He was at the game that day.
Was he?
Yeah, he was at the game watching Buffalo. Huge Buffalo fan like yourself. Shout out to you for getting to watch that. Josh Allen looked great. But we'll talk about Buffalo later. Hey, listen, Commanders, it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
I like Eric Bieniemy coming to that system. And so I like what Washington's doing right now. I think they're in line for good things to happen. It's going to take time. Sam Howell's not there yet.
No, this was his welcome to the NFL, like you said. This is rookie moment of, crap, start seeing ghosts. Again, from the east to the west, about San Francisco.
San Francisco, you got it written here, and I'm just going to steal what you had right here on your note. It says Debo is that guy. I said after week 1, I said Brandon Ayuk's the new #1 receiver in San Francisco, and boy was I wrong. Debo Samuel is still that dude. Christian McCaffrey, the same thing. Good to see Elijah Mitchell back in San Francisco. They may have the best offense and defense in the NFL.
Listen, they just keep on. Brock Purdy's relevant, and we're gonna talk about in a minute where he is, where he kind of fits in these NFC quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But he looks relevant. Now, Seattle had a bounce back too. They look like the team you thought they were. Now, I think they put up 38.
38, yeah.
They're going to need to put up 38 because that defense sucks.
Yeah, that's surprising too, because with those corners, I thought they would be better on defense. But listen, you may not have to be because the run game's legit, and they have some real weapons on the outside.
They do. And this is a team that's just going to outscore everyone. I think it's kind of like Detroit was last year.
It is, same thing.
And they line up, right?
Good for Geno.
Good for Geno. Got paid.
That's my cousin Geno. Vito Benito. So
Benito.
Yeah.
Staying with the NFC West, let's go the Rams.
Los Angeles Rams. So listen, not a good showing last night against Cincinnati, right?
I feel bad for them.
Yeah, I feel bad. The offensive line was in shambles. Couldn't block anybody.
Tutu scored. I don't care what they say. Tutu
scored. Yeah, his foot. I don't know that his heel came down. And if they give him that touchdown, it's a different game.
Yes.
But hey, look, for what they were last year to what they are this year, good for the Rams.
Can I throw a question at you?
Yeah.
At what point do you look at trading Stafford?
Not yet.
You don't think so?
No, not yet. I think now if they go in a slid before the trade deadline, we get to week 6, 7, and they're 2-4.
I think you can talk teams into. I think you could talk the Jets or the Falcons into it right now.
Yeah, and we got a little segment. We're going to talk about some of those quarterbacks. Should they be playing anymore? Hey, Stafford's one of those guys that may be available.
Yes.
If things tend to go a certain way in the NFL. Yeah, absolutely.
Arizona, I think they just forgot how to tank. I think, listen, and you had a very interesting question. Okay. You asked, is Dobbs the better quarterback option here? So I don't know that Josh Dobbs isn't the better quarterback option in Arizona.
I think when you see what Arizona's doing, okay, so in all 3 games they've played this year, they end up beating the Cowboys.
Yes.
Right? Dobbs he outplayed Dak Prescott.
They should have beat the Giants.
He outplayed Daniel Jones.
Yes.
Okay?
He can't get a jersey at his own store.
You know what I mean? And listen, here's what I'll say. Those 2 coordinators that left Philadelphia, Gannon and Steichen, those teams that they're coaching right now, the culture has shifted. Those teams play hard.
Playing very hard.
Yeah, Arizona's going to play hard.
Let's stay in the dirty South. Let's go to Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, Is it time for them to make a move at quarterback?
Falcons, yeah, I think they have to. First available. But Colt McCoy's out there. I think Colt McCoy would be a perfect fit in that Atlanta Falcons offense.
Yeah, Bijan is a great player. I am definitely going to eat my words. Bijan looks like he should have been the 2nd or 3rd overall pick.
He reminds me so much of Adrian Peterson when Peterson came out of college in Oklahoma.
Great call. Yeah. This is the way that Reggie Bush should have been.
Shiftiness, fast, powerful. He's running over people.
Violent. Just violent.
Hey, Drake London's a great receiver too.
He is. Absolutely.
Kyle Pitts, I'm firing you, but whatever.
Kyle Pitts.
The biggest letdown in fantasy football every year. And you guys told me, don't draft him. Nobody draft him. Who's going to draft? The joke was like, who's going to draft Pitts? And you know who I drafted?
Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts. Son of a gun.
Yes, I'm right there with you. I had Michael Thomas. So he's still healthy right now.
Yeah,
all right.
He's playing.
Let's go to Tampa Baker. All right. Tampa Baker.
The Tampa Baker Buccaneers. Yeah. So I love that they have taken on the attitude of Baker Mayfield.
Just chip on the shoulder.
It's just a chip on the shoulder. They're playing with moxie and like they hate the world.
Yes.
Like you talk bad about my mom. Watch what I do to you. Right. And so I think a couple calls went against them early. Mike Evans had a drop. They had a couple things happen. Could have been a different game last night. And I'm not saying that because I'm a Cowboys fan. Philly looks really good.
Yes.
They're probably the 2nd best team in the NFL. 3rd best. I'm going to say 3rd, maybe 4th. We're going to keep sliding them down. But hey, listen, I believe in Tampa Bay. It's going to take a while to get familiar, but they're going to be good.
Nice. New Orleans, Carr goes down. Looks like he's going to miss some time, not the whole season, but he went down. How worried are you? Trying to eat that W. Huh? Trying to eat that W.
Listen, if Jameis Winston is not the best personality to ever be in the NFL, from stealing crab legs to eating W's to believing in his teammates to everything hurting to being prepared. Have you ever went through YouTube and just watched Jameis Winston's funniest moments?
It's great. I looked at my teammates and I was like, hey, y'all got me. And they were like, we got you. You got us. I'm like, I got you. You got me. And they look at I got you. I was like, what is he saying here?
Gotta be prepared. That's what coach told us. That's it. What did he tell you? What was I going to say? Be prepared. Just be prepared. Great personality.
I just don't get him.
I hate it for Carr.
Yes, but I mean, it's good that he's going to bounce back.
No, so the New Orleans Saints, their one phrase is "Welcome back, Kamara."
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
Welcome
and
back, Kamara.
They need help.
They do.
They need help.
Yeah.
Carolina. Listen, it is what it is. I would ship that Andy Dalton tape everywhere right now to people who need quarterbacks.
Andy Dalton is this year's Cooper Rush.
Yes.
He may be the hottest backup quarterback in the NFL as of week 3 right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, through week 3 he's the hottest backup quarterback in the NFL. Maybe Gardner Minshew, but we're gonna stay on the Andy Dalton train because Red Rocket. I just love the name.
This is the ultimate team of Are they good? Are they better without Bryce?
Well, you got the DJ Charks, you got the Adam Thielen, you got
this is the old man team.
This is the team where you're like, what's going on? And then you have Andy Dalton come in year 94 and throw for 360 yards. So
Carolina Panthers might be the retirement home team. Where older players, let's just ship all the older players to Carolina. They can retire, they can play golf, and they can play football.
Banking's big in Carolina.
Banking is big in Carolina.
I mean? So
let's finish up the NFC. Looking at the North, Detroit. What do you got for me for Detroit?
So the Detroit Lions, they're fun. They are fun. I think they finally getting it right. They're finally getting it right. They have an identity now. Now, if they ever start to use Jahmyr Gibbs, I think we're going to see more of them. But you had a note on here. Guess who's coming back?
Jameson, baby.
And I think he's going to be the spark plug they need. Stretch the field, big play guy.
They need another one after Amon-Ra.
Yeah. Well, I think Amon-Ra's more shifty, route running. Like, I like what he does. He can line up in the slot. He can do a lot of different things.
He's going to get open.
Kind of the CeeDee Lamb of the Dallas Cowboys, right?
He's going to get open. Should see the ball 11 times.
Jameson's going to stretch the field.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got a question about Green Bay.
Don't.
Are you falling in love?
I am not. So, yeah, Green Bay, they are who I thought they were. Okay, Aaron Jones is going to play 10 games out of 17. They're going to cost me a week in fantasy football.
Thank you very much.
Charity work. You know what I mean? So,
thank you.
I give you a W. Yeah, Teach, you beat me last week. Aaron Jones is out. I kept him in the roster, sat my phone down, forgot to plug him in, whatever. It is what it is. But, hey, listen, Green Bay, gutsy win last week.
I think this is a great moment for Jordan Love to come back. That the weird, hey, we're going for 2. Statistically, you go, yeah, I get why you should do that.
I didn't understand it to cut it to 6, and I was like,
Yeah, it's what the stats nerds say. Yeah, it was the right call.
Yeah, maybe I'm not that guy. I know you watch more baseball. And you're
Yeah,
kind of into the
I was,
metrics
and I went and I was explaining it, going, I was hitting everybody on Twitter, going like, "You guys just don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah,
This is actually the right move."
Yeah.
No, those
Matt
stupid.
LaFleur is that guy.
Yes,
Right. And so, yeah,
and I
absolutely.
think he has the quarterback that likes him now, and he likes. So
Makes a difference.
Minnesota.
Minnesota is 0-3.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to describe Minnesota. So Minnesota has lost all 3 games, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember the week 1 score. All 3 games by one possession.
Yeah.
Last year, the best 1 possession team in football. This year, they can't seem to get a victory out of it. Kirk Cousins throws another interception at the end of a ball game. Not his fault. Bounced off a receiver's hands. Hawkinson, actually.
The noise, the crowd noise.
But listen, I watched the quarterback show.
Yeah.
I'm a Kirk fan. His wife dresses him funny. I'm all for it. You know what I mean? Like, this is what they do. But Minnesota better. O'Connell could be in the hot seat.
Yeah, I would trade Kirk and then just show Justin Jefferson, Caleb Williams clips on high over and over and over and go, hey, don't be unhappy because this is who you're getting.
Yeah, you may be right.
Well, speaking of unhappy people, everybody in Chicago right now, right?
When's it going to stop in Chicago?
When they clean house.
I think that's the phrase. I think you just have to ask when.
Why wait?
You have
why wait?
So Eberfrom, you got the coordinators are out. The offensive coordinator is horrible. They've ruined Justin Fields, who had so much talent coming into the NFL.
GM stinks.
They wasted talent. We see the running back in Detroit now, Montgomery. I mean, the DJ Moore is stuck in there now. The receivers, they drafted receivers in 12 different drafts.
Claypool got traded there and should request a trade. They look horrible.
It's a mess from the top down.
It is.
Yeah.
And this is what happens when you build a team from the quarterback up. They drafted Fields, then hired a head coach, then hired a GM, then hired a team president, and you go, that's backwards. You understand that's backwards.
So not Pat Riley.
No, that is very that's anti everyone.
Yeah,
and there's a reason that nobody does that.
I wonder if Ozzie Smith is available for them.
Ooh, no. He's happy in retirement.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, maybe Theo Epstein.
Great GM though.
Great baseball guy in there.
Not just a great tight end, great GM.
Absolutely fantastic GM.
Yeah.
NFC to AFC. Baltimore.
Talking of Ozzie.
Yeah, Baltimore.
Right into Baltimore. Let's talk about it. Baltimore. What's your question for Baltimore? You got one written that I want you to say.
Is Harbaugh becoming the villain?
Is he?
I don't know. I don't know if I want to keep blaming Lamar.
Is he just the escape route? I don't know.
I don't think he's the scapegoat. I think Harbaugh's voice is losing hope with people. If I'm a Ravens fan, I would say we paid Lamar. It's time for a change at coach.
Can I ask this?
Yeah.
Because I think we've seen it happen, and I've seen it happen a couple of times in my life. You saw football outgrow Bill Parcells. You saw it's the old defensive, the Rex Ryans, Joe Gibbs.
Yeah.
Then you see it, Ron Rivera in Washington. I'm sorry. Football's outgrown his schemes and his philosophies. Is this just another part of that? Is this another victim to football, new age football outgrowing an old school head coach?
I think it's time to graduate.
Yeah.
I think it's time for him to move on to something else. I think you need a young, fresh idea. Todd Monken's not young, nor is he fresh.
No, absolutely
this would be
not.
the perfect, and I'm going to get hate for this. This is the perfect Cliff Kingsbury team. This is the perfect. I think it is. I think you give Cliff Kingsbury Lamar Jackson who is very different from Kyler Murray.
He's an offensive genius. It just didn't work.
The offense worked.
The offense worked.
And I don't think Baltimore's never had a problem with defense. That's institutional.
That's true. That's a good question.
But the best defense in the league might be right up the road in Cleveland.
It could be in Cleveland. And I think we talked about this a lot in the beginning. Listen, Myles Garrett's on a mission.
Yes.
Okay? And those Cleveland Browns, that dog pound is real. Now, I liked what we saw out of Deshaun Watson this week, and it had to happen the week after I traded him for Dak Prescott in fantasy football. So Dak lays an egg. Deshaun throws for 300.
Everything but that one lateral.
I'm
about to get smashed.
There's always the one play, right? You're going like...
Towel came off there.
Yeah, towel came off.
The team's less chubby.
The team is less chubby.
That's all I had. Less chubby. Deshaun looks okay. Cincinnati's lucky.
They're lucky they're not 0-3.
Lucky.
Yeah. No, Cincinnati's in real trouble. Here's what I say. Cincinnati has calf problems.
Yes. Yeah, don't ship it to him.
No.
Listen, some hangovers last longer than others.
Yeah.
This is a one-year hangover from the Super Bowl.
No, I think what it is Joe Burrow is more hurt than he's let on to be. That calf is an issue. I said it preseason going into week 1. I called it. Just give me my due.
Yeah, that's fine. You also said he's the, second best quarterback?
I think he is when he's not injured.
This is the dumbest thing ever. Listen.
The calf is a serious thing.
Part of being a professional in this game is saying, I'm too hurt to play. You never heard Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, the greats. You never heard Troy Aikman go, hey, you know what? I know I'm a little concussed. I'm going to go out there and keep on trying. No, they don't make any excuses. He just sucks right now.
Well, I think Jamar Chase said it. I think Jamar Chase said, sit 3 weeks. He should have sat the first 3 weeks.
Yeah.
That's legit. He should have sat the first 3 weeks.
I think this could be the Joe Burrow that we really start to see. That's what I'm saying. Joe Burrow.
Is he going to pull a
properly?
I think you're absolutely.
We'll see.
Okay, so Cincinnati phrase teaches wrong.
Cincinnati phrase. Joe Burrow, average dude.
Average Joe.
And everything but looks.
Average.
He's
Joe.
handsome.
He's the average Joe.
But he's just average Joe.
Yeah. I love that movie, by the way.
That's
Average Joe.
That's
a great movie. Yeah.
Dodgeball, baby.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh. Did they mend the picket fence?
No, absolutely not. Pickett's still a bottom 5 quarterback in the NFL. Najee Harris still can't run the ball well. Hey, was George Pickens overhyped, or is that a Pickett problem? One of the two is real.
Pickett threw 2 touchdowns.
But against all odds, Mike Tomlin is 2-1.
Listen, I thought this was the year. I was hot and
you
cold
said
roller
last week,
coaster.
you said this is the year Tomlin goes under 500.
And the week before that, I was like, "Hey, Tomlin just does this." All right, I picked him to win like 11 games preseason. I just can't.
You're so hot and cold on Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh out. I want them to be I want Pickett to be so good.
T.J. Watt is the real deal.
Is he better than Parsons?
No, but I think he's better than Bosa.
I think he could be better than Parsons.
He's not. No, Parsons is the best defensive player in the NFL.
Maybe.
I don't think he's better than Myles Garrett.
Ooh, okay. We'll see. I would have it, gun to my head, I would have it Watt, Garrett, Parsons right now. Just
really?
What I've seen, yeah.
Yeah, I would have it Parsons, Garrett, Watt, Bosa.
And then I would have it Christian Gonzalez 4th. Just because you loved him so much.
I did.
AFC South, Indianapolis, Shane Steichen, like you said, is changing culture, right? Nothing there.
No.
Tennessee.
I think it's just relevant. Derrick Henry's a shell of himself.
He is.
Dethroned.
He looks rough.
Dethroned.
Jacksonville.
Time to move off of Tannehill?
No. I think they're pot committed. I think you have to say they're just because the AFC South is so wacky.
If it doesn't work this year, do you move Tannehill, Henry, and Vrabel? Which one goes out of the 3?
I think if it's not working this year, we see Will Levis, like week 8 or 9.
Vrabel stays, Henry stays,
Yes.
You get Will Levis.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Jacksonville, what happened to your 3rd best quarterback in the NFL?
He's still going to end up the 3rd best quarterback in the NFL. Probably the 2nd best quarterback in the NFL by the time the end of the year is. They're hitting a speed bump. Hey, teams go through this. Better to get it over with in weeks 2 and 3 and 4 than get it over with in week 17 playoffs. Okay, it just is what it is. Hit your rail now.
Jennifer Lawrence looks like she's playing quarterback better than Trevor Lawrence right now.
Jennifer Lawrence is, yes.
Careful.
Yes.
Careful. Houston, we have no problems.
Easily, I think we talked about it once he had that high score on the test. CJ Stroud should have been the number 1 pick.
You're not wrong.
Yeah,
You're not wrong at all.
We joked about his test scores. We joked about where he was in the draft, how far he should fall. We were wrong. You got to own it.
Yes.
Look, the kid looks better than Bryce Young.
He looks taller.
Yeah. Anthony Richardson, we haven't seen enough of yet.
No.
But I'm impressed with him too.
CJ Stroud, you're absolutely right. I don't care. He got a 17 on his Wonderlic. He should have been the first pick.
Yeah, I agree.
AFC West Chargers, go right ahead, buddy. Go right ahead.
Yeah. Welcome to the life of Kellen. Okay? That's just what it is. Really, really, really lucky. They ended up winning that game in Minnesota. Minnesota should have won it. What a horrible play call. 4th and 1 to give the ball to a player we've never heard of at the 30-yard line of Minnesota.
This is called fullback dive, baby.
No, that's called Staley knows he's about to get fired.
How do you not get fired?
You have to. So Staley, the first coach gone.
No, because he seems to have some nude pictures of the owner or something, because there's no way he should have been fired at the end of last year. I don't care if they won. He should have been fired after the win.
I agree.
But maybe they just don't trust Kellen Moore either. Like,
How could you?
I don't know. That is
The
a
play
mess.
calling is atrocious. And listen, I think Justin Herbert looks like he took a step back with the Kellen Moore.
Yeah, I'd still have him above Trevor Lawrence
Yeah.
and Joe Burrow right now.
No, absolutely not.
That's fine. You know where they don't have any quarterback problems?
Where's that?
Kansas City.
They do not. But you know what they do have?
Yeah, I know what they have.
They have a Taylor Swift problem.
There's no problems there, man. Listen, it sounds like you have bad blood with Taylor.
I do not, actually. No. Huge Taylor. I'm a Swiftie. Look, I think all of us are Swifties at heart. And if you say you're not a Swiftie, you're lying to yourself and to the rest of the world. Travis Kelce, happy for him. But that guy looks so in love playing football on Sunday. I'm going, is this real? I don't know. Is it the biggest story in Kansas City right now? In NFL?
Yes.
It's the biggest story in the NFL. And Taylor Swift has become the biggest story in the NFL?
Yes. It was the last demographic she had to hit, right? She got girl dads. She got teeny boppers. She got grandparents going to the shows. Now she got football fans. So I'm going to say this, all right? I'm going to look right at Travis. Travis, run, okay? Jake Gyllenhaal should have ran. John Mayer should have ran. All these guys should have ran.
But
Joe Jonas should have ran. Travis, don't do this. Run. Please, Travis. Run. Blink twice if you need help. Those Swifties are crazy.
Let me play devil's advocate because I think, no. Listen, this is a good thing for Travis and for football and for Taylor. Look, Jake Gyllenhaal, whatever. John Mayer, we all know what he's about. Look, Taylor is worth $700+ million. Probably going to be one of the first. She may be the first. I don't know. Going to be a billionaire. Okay. Travis Kelce, listen, and it's not even about the money. You guys look like it's a real thing. Have fun, play football, be in love, do your thing, man. She'll write a song about you.
What's the song going to be?
I think it.
We were talking.
What could it be? What is your best guess?
Loose end?
Is it loose end?
Is that a tight end? Loose end? Just a fantasy player?
Just a fantasy player?
Could be.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good name.
I mean,
what if it's like I don't know.
Chief without a tribe?
From 87 to 0?
Oh, it could be 87 to 0.
I don't know.
I mean, not a fan. It could just be not a fan.
Arrow in the head?
Oh, arrow in the head works.
Arrow in the heart?
This is so bad.
Yeah.
She's going to break your heart, Trav. She's going to break your heart.
No, Travis is good for it.
I don't.
Shout out New Heights. I love listening to him and his brother. Look, Jason Kelce. They're so good together. Shout out to them, man. What a great podcast.
Vegas, because Travis is gambling right now. So Vegas.
Yeah. Listen, what a waste of Devontae.
Yeah.
Okay. I hate it for Jimmy G. Listen, Josh McDaniels just doesn't impress me as a football coach.
No.
Good coordinator, but he doesn't impress me as a coach.
Jimmy G's okay.
Jimmy G's okay. He won. But listen, how many people are going to end up saying, hey, guess what? I won in Kyle Shanahan's system. Or I won in Sean McVay's system. True. And then you go to somebody like Josh McDaniels and you can't win, right?
Yeah.
It just is what it is.
Denver. Speaking of dumpster fires, bad night in Vegas.
Horrible night.
Yeah.
Horrible night. Like, I hope Denver never plays Miami again.
That was bad.
That was horrible.
Russ Wilson has been on both sides of both winning by 50 and losing by 50. How about that? This is just nuts.
This is the most unexpected thing for me in the NFL this year.
I thought they were going to be good.
I thought they were going to be good too. I believe Sean Payton. 6 seed. Yeah, I love Sean Payton, ex-Cowboy coordinator. I thought he should have been the Cowboy coach. Went to New Orleans, won a Super Bowl in New Orleans. Did great things with Drew Brees. Is it Russ? What is it?
Know.
The team
I don't know
quit.
what it is.
Is it Sean Payton?
I don't know.
Can he go back to TV now?
Please.
Should he?
If we could just pick him up and put him in Los Angeles with the Chargers, I wouldn't mind it at all.
Really?
Yes, at all.
So can you do a coach swap?
You can. I mean, they can trade for him. Sure.
Staley for Peyton?
I would do it right now. I would have them.
Would you do Staley and O'Connell for Sean Payton?
I would do, yes. Yeah. I would have Sean Payton on Minnesota or the Chargers right now.
Absolutely. I think so too. But their roster's a mess.
Yes.
But you know what? When I look at it though, Jerry Jeudy, top wide receiver prospect drafted in the NFL.
Yep.
Cortland Sutton.
Looks good.
One of the top prospects drafted in the NFL.
Javonte Williams doesn't look bad.
Javonte Williams, bad injury last year.
Yes.
Okay.
Offensive line doesn't look bad.
Offensive line doesn't look bad.
It's going to be Russ.
Is it Russ?
Jared Stidham time.
Is this the same thing we saw in Seattle?
I think Seattle knew before everyone.
I think they may have.
New England.
Yeah, New England. They're on their way to get another L this week.
On to Dallas. We're on to Dallas. Go ahead and lose that game too. I'm just happy we're here. There's no way I'm going to have the most wins in NFL history because my team sucks without Tom Brady.
Hey, listen, 15-10 win against the New Jersey Jets. Good for New England. Mac Jones is, I don't know if he's that guy.
No.
I picked up Hunter Henry in fantasy football off the waiver this week, and he scored 3 points.
Yep. He had 2
So
catches.
had 30 the first week, 20 the second week, and then scored 4 points. So not a New England fan right now.
Meh.
Vanilla
ice cream 2.0.
They are the mid of the NFL.
Yes, they are. They are super mid.
Don't you think? Like their whole attitude, their persona, their uniforms, where they're at.
This is
like when you rank like top places to play.
When you make a deal with the devil to win as many Super Bowls as they do in the amount of time they did, welcome to the fallout.
This is the fallout.
This is the fallout.
How long does the fallout last?
I'm a Bills fan, so it's been 60 years.
But is it after the Belichick era? Belichick has to leave before it gets better.
Yeah, and he's not going to leave until he has the wins record.
I know.
It's going to be another 3 years of this.
Correct.
I don't know what happens. Bill O'Brien takes over. Whatever. Jersey Jets. I mean, Namath said it. He's tired of Zach Wilson. I'm tired of seeing this. I don't want to see this anymore.
What a crazy quote from one of your better players ever. Broadway Joe comes out and says, "Don't want to look at it anymore."
Nope.
That's wild.
Fighting on the sideline.
How about Breece Hall getting like 6 carries a game?
It's sad. He's arguably their second best player behind Sauce.
I would trade for Breece Hall right now.
Distressed asset. It would not shock me if Breece Hall, if Dalvin Cook, if Garrett Wilson all said, "Get me the hell out of here."
Garrett Wilson was visibly upset on the sideline.
They were arguing. And Zach looks, I don't know, he looks like the bad guy from Karate Kid.
I just don't understand how he can't.
I don't know.
It's a lot of talent in New York.
You have to make a move now. You have to be first to market for the quarterback.
I think you have to.
And we'll talk about who it could be, but listen, Buffalo.
Yeah, that's your team. Take it.
Defense looked legit. Now,
defense looks good.
I get that Von Miller's not even there. So defense looked legit. I love what I saw.
What's the Von timetable?
It's supposed to be 6 weeks. I think it'll be ramp up, so that's perfect. If we can get 2 more weeks of good defensive football, I love. Listen, everybody was worried about Tremaine Edmonds leaving. I never was. I thought he was overhyped, especially after he left. I definitely thought he was overhyped. That's okay. Milano's a better linebacker. The secondary is healthy this year. We have Hyde. We have Poyer. Kyrie Elam's doing some stuff, but Trey White looks better. Listen, I love the Bills' defense right now. Scares the crap out of me for this weekend.
Yeah, I think Matt Milano is a top 5 linebacker in the NFL.
I'm not going to argue with you.
I think he has been for the last couple of years.
I think he's overlooked.
Yeah, Josh Allen's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. Where do you put Stephon Diggs at wide receivers? Think about this. Give me your top 5 wide receivers.
I don't think Diggs is better than Jefferson.
No, I don't either.
I don't think Diggs is better than Tyreek Hill.
I don't either. That's 2.
I think now we start talking about where he could be.
Devontae Adams.
I would have Devontae Adams probably ahead of Stephon Diggs.
Jamar Chase.
I would have Diggs ahead. I think Diggs
you
is
have Diggs ahead of Jamar?
I do. I think he's ahead of Kupp just because I haven't seen Kupp healthy.
Well, Kupp's going to be out 2 years almost, right?
I mean, yes, absolutely. I think that's where he is. I don't think there's any other wide receivers that I would take ahead of him.
So you have so you're putting Stephon Diggs ahead of Jamar Chase. Yes. I don't have him ahead of Jamar Chase. What about Jalen Waddle?
I have him ahead of Jalen Waddle.
Of course, yeah. CeeDee Lamb.
I have him ahead of CeeDee Lamb.
So you have him as a top 5 wide receiver.
I do.
Okay.
I think you can argue he is anywhere from 4 to 9.
Yeah,
I think those guys are kind of. I think that the top 2, Jefferson and Tyreek are in a league of their own.
They are.
And then I think Devontae Adams is kind of in that second category by himself, just because he was so good with Aaron Rodgers.
And see, I have it like Jefferson, Tyreek, and then I have Jamar, Adams, and they're kind of alone. And then I think there's 4 or 5 that kind of mesh together in the next round. Like you have the Stephon Diggs, you have the CeeDee Lamb.
Do you have Devontae Smith or AJ Brown?
AJ Brown, I think above Devontae Smith a little bit.
You know, all Tyler Lockett does in Seattle is play well.
But I think DK Metcalf's the better receiver there.
I don't know that he is. I think he's the more hyped wide receiver.
Insane build.
I mean,
if you're building a player on Madden, you're building DK Metcalf.
Yeah. Listen, when I wake up, look in the mirror, I go, yeah, DK.
Hey, DK.
Hey, DK. That leaves us with Miami.
Miami, to me, is the most impressive football team in the NFL so far.
Yes.
Defensively, offensively. Look, Mike McDaniels, and I've said it for the last year and a half, is my favorite coach in the NFL.
You have.
And I think he is just in a world of his own, doing his own thing, going from where he came from. What a story. But Tua Tagovailoa is just as good of a story.
He is.
Probably he's number one in my MVP race right now.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I think we can get into that discussion going into next week. We'll have a quarter gone of the NFL season. We can start talking about way too early MVPs and stuff. But if we were talking about that today, Tua Tagovailoa is leading the way in my pick for
They're
MVP.
a Madden team. They're a Madden team right now. They're putting up Madden numbers. They look unstoppable on offense. They're doing whatever they want to do.
There's so much speed. Like, if you're going to play against Miami, there's no way to replicate that speed on the practice field.
No, they have the 4 fastest dudes in the NFL.
Clocked. This year, it was Mostert, Tyreek, and a chain.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's just sad. And that's with Waddle out.
Yeah, Waddle didn't even play.
No, they are scary good.
It's wild.
Who are your top 3 teams?
Right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so power rankings?
Power rankings, top 3 teams in the NFL. Go.
At number 1, I had the Miami Dolphins. At number 2, I think they're incredible. We just talked about them, but the offense is unstoppable. The defense is doing its part. So I'm going to go number 1, Miami Dolphins, plus my MVP leader right now, Tua. At number 2, I'm going to go San Francisco 49ers. They may be the best defense in the NFL, and I think they're the most consistent offense. They're not the best offense, but they're most consistent offense. And at number 3, I'm going to go Philadelphia Eagles. Give me the Eagles at number 3. Listen, there's a lot to say. Football's won in the trenches. Best offensive line in the NFL, probably, and the best defensive line in the NFL.
I would have the exact same 3 teams.
Yeah.
Because of that.
In that order?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. I think Miami's unstoppable. I think the only way you stop Miami is if Tua goes down.
Yeah, me too. I think so.
I think San Francisco is the most balanced team, and I think the Eagles haven't even played their best football yet.
They haven't. They're still getting in the rhythm.
Now, last week, you found your rhythm. Last week, you went 11-5, sir.
I did go 11-5 last week.
You beat me. I went 10-6.
10-6 is 10-6 is respectable.
Well, let's go ahead and give them some picks. We have some oddly similar picks.
Yeah, so week 4 picks for the NFL. Week 4 pick on 3 for 3 podcast. Right now, 10-6 for Teach, 11-5 for the Podfather. And we'll keep up with this all year long. Go ahead and give your first pick. Lions at Packers.
Lions.
All right, I'm going to take the Lions on this one also, okay?
Okay, Falcons at Jags.
Give me the Jaguars. This is at Wembley, too. Home game for the Jaguars.
I'm going to go Jags as well.
Yeah, they are the London team. Dolphins at Bills. This one's for you, Teach.
I'm going Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bills on this one.
Wow.
With the upset special. I think the Dolphins are the better team, but I'm going Bills at home. Ravens at Browns.
Give me the Brownies.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Browns on this one also.
Brownies is a thing, by the way.
Yeah, Brownies are a thing. Yeah,
Thank you. Broncos at Bears.
Give me the Broncos. I think Russell Wilson finally just snaps out of it this week.
I think Broncos finally get a win as well.
Yeah, Steelers at Texans.
I want the Steelers so bad to be good.
You taking the Steelers?
I'm going Steelers.
Yeah, I almost wanted to go Texans because I was really impressed last week with C.J. Stroud. But, hey, listen, T.J. Watt's a real deal. Give me the Steelers on this one.
Rams at Colts?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Rams. Love what Anthony Richardson's doing. They got to win with Gardner Minshew also, but give me the Rams.
I have the Rams as well.
Yeah, I think it just makes sense, right?
Yep.
Bucks at Saints.
I'm going Saints.
Are you going to New Orleans?
Eat that win, Jameis.
Jameson,
eat that W.
That's a good pick for Teach. I'm going to go to the Bucks. I believe.
Okay.
I believe in Tampa Buccaneers, so that's where we're going to go. Yeah.
Commanders at Eagles.
Yeah, this one's Philadelphia easy.
It's all day Eagles. Bengals at Titans.
Give me the Bengals in this one.
Bengals are frisky. I think they start somebody else and the team plays better. Take that, average Joe.
The battle of the 0-3s. Vikings at Panthers.
Someone's O's got to go. The Vikings get their first win. They're going to win by 6 points.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's like a 7-6 game, and the Vikings win. Raiders at Chargers.
Come on, Herbert. Show something here. Chargers.
Battles of 1 and 2. Somebody's going to go 50% on the year right now. I'm going to go Raiders over the Chargers. Switch it up a little bit.
Okay.
No, actually, I'm going to take the Chargers.
There you go.
Give me the Chargers on that one.
Patriots at Cowboys.
Yeah, you know I'm going Dallas all the way. This is in Arlington. Give me Dallas.
Dallas can't lose this game. If they lose this game, it goes off the rails.
The wheels are coming off if they lose this game.
Absolutely. Cardinals at 49ers?
Yeah, give me San Francisco.
There's no way there's still magic left in Arizona. We're going San Francisco.
Absolutely, I agree. Chiefs at Jets. So Taylor Swift traveling to New York.
KC. Travis, watch out, though. Please be careful, Trav.
I think Travis scores 2 touchdowns. Give me Kansas City in this game also.
The last one's Seattle Seahawks at the Jersey Giants.
Yeah, the Jersey Giants. Give me the Seattle Seahawks on this one.
All right, let's go. Love it, man. Love it. Picks.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's see. All right, so this week we got some best bets for you. Remember, last week, okay, didn't go so well between myself and the Podfather. I had Jahmyr Gibbs getting 150 yards, all-purpose yards, and a touchdown. He went for 82. Listen, they are not using him that well, okay? So I blame him completely. They're definitely not using him the way they should use him. Cowboys didn't cover. In the upset special of the year, Cowboys didn't cover against Arizona. Crazy. I don't know how that happened, but whatever. We did get one, though. We got the Steelers. Thank God we got the Steelers. So you got some bets for them this week?
Yeah, we do this week. And listen, promise to do better than we did last week. This one's good, though. And I switched it up a little bit this week. I did a little college football.
I liked it.
Okay, and then I brought in a couple NFL games.
Yep.
Okay, so bet number 1 this week, I'm going to take Notre Dame -5.5 at Duke.
I like it. I like it. Duke scares me, though, because Riley Leonard is sneaky athletic.
Yeah, but I love Notre Dame's chances at a bounce-back game.
That's a great pick.
And bounce-back games are a real thing. They should have won at Ohio State. I think they bounced back in a big way, and they should cover the 5.5. So game number 2. So bet number 1, Notre Dame -5.5. Game number 2, best bet, Podfather best bets. Give me the Jacksonville Jaguars at Wembley -3 versus Atlanta.
They know how to win in London.
Listen, they are the London Jaguars, okay? They're the closest thing to a team in England. And I think right now, as bad as they have played, it's the perfect time to cash in Jacksonville. So give me the Jags -3. I'll take a cup of tea with that.
Listen, I don't know how they would say it in English. Duval.
Duval. Yeah,
Duval.
I have the worst accents. It's not something I can do.
They're great, man. They're great.
Yeah. And for the third game, guys, listen, I'm going to take the Vikings -3 at Carolina. This is the battle of 0-3s, and the line happens to be 3. When I see 3 threes happen like that, I got to play the game. I'm going Vikings -3 Carolina. Here's why. It's been so close all year long. And listen, the Minnesota Vikings have probably been the more talented team in 2 or 3 of their games so far this year.
Yes.
The most talented. I think they're going to put it together. Carolina, I expect Bryce Young's coming back. You have to put him back in, right? You got to take your lumps at Carolina.
Let's start the Red Rocket.
No, I think you take your lumps for Bryce Young. Give me the Vikings -3.
I love it. I love the threes. Let's hit them with the 3 and out. This is how we always end the show, guys. So 3 big ideas, 3 things that are on our mind, should be on your mind, 3 debates. So
love this.
First one, got a question.
Yeah.
It's that time. It's that time to go ahead and we're bailing out water for NFL quarterbacks, right?
So.
Is it time to change quarterbacks? Okay, let's start with Zach Wilson. Is it time to change?
Yeah, he's got to go. He can't start another game in New York.
Okay. What about Russ Wilson?
Where do you go? Stidham?
I guess.
I mean, they got let go of Peterman. Well, that was Chicago, but they could bring him back, right?
I mean, they could. I don't know if you bring back Nathan Peterman.
I don't know. But what's your other option?
Do you give Carson Wentz a call? Give Drew Brees a call?
I think if you're Denver, you go with Russ Wilson. Hey, Sean Payton's got a free year. You already told me that.
Yes.
You texted to me. You said he
can do whatever
he gets a year. He gets a year to blame it on whoever he wants.
I'm with you. We're 2 for 2 so far. I'd get rid of Zach Wilson, keep Russ Wilson. So there's our Wilson and Wilson.
Yeah.
What about Desmond Ridder?
Desmond Ridder's got to go. I can't watch it for a team as talented and as well as they run the football. They have a specialty. They have an identity. But if they had a quarterback that could threaten the middle of the field just a little bit, that team could do so much more. I say he's got to go. We've seen enough.
I am holding on to Desmond Ridder.
Wow.
So we are 1 for 2. Let us know who you think is right.
Wow.
I'm hanging on to him. I think you got to give him this year. Invest it. There's no expectations.
Wow.
Justin Fields.
I think it's the end of the experiment. I think Justin Fields more than Chicago needs a fresh start. Right. And so I think for Justin Fields' benefit as a professional, you got to get rid of him.
I think this is very similar to Trey Lance.
Yeah.
I know Trey Lance hasn't played much football at all. I think you're right. Justin Fields needs to go somewhere else.
Yeah, he needs to change the scenery.
This is done. He's done. Move on somewhere else.
What are your answers for these teams really quick, though?
I think there's still names. You mentioned Colt McCoy.
So I'm going to go through the list.
Yep.
Okay. So if you're the New York Jets and you're getting rid of Zach Wilson, who are you bringing in to start for the rest of the year?
Again,
Trade or free agent?
I would make a move for Kirk Cousins because what Kirk does well is he distributes the ball.
But is Kirk available yet?
I think he is. I think you could talk Minnesota into you're not in this. You're never going to be in this season. It's time. We'll throw a first-round pick at you. We'll throw a second-round pick at you, and we'll go from there.
Wow. Okay. So if you're the Denver Broncos, you're letting Russ eat?
I think you have to with that contract and hope he plays himself in.
And then maybe play yourself into a draft pick?
Yes.
You're not getting a draft pick, right?
No, I don't think you are.
Yeah. Atlanta, you're keeping Desmond Ridder.
I would keep Desmond Ridder around, but I think I love what you said, bringing Colt McCoy, bring in somebody with some experience to kind of
read a defense.
The field. Yeah,
read a defense. Justin Fields for Chicago, who you bringing in?
Gosh, listen, if we're just saying screw it, let's go ahead and do whatever we want. Carson Wentz, why not? Sure, go ahead and we'll see the Carson Wentz experience. Or you're already set up for a mobile quarterback. Maybe throw some money and say, hey, Arizona, do you want to give up on Kyler Murray? Dobbs could be your guy.
Andy Dalton?
Yeah. I mean, he's used to Midwest football. It's such an ugly experiment.
Yeah, it is.
Now, quarterback play hasn't been great anywhere. And last week, it wasn't great with Dak. So let me ask you, right, for our second and out, right? Would you rather have Dak or, okay? So Dak or Sam Howell?
Dak Prescott right now.
Interesting. Dak or Baker Mayfield?
I think I still have to go Dak.
Dak or Jared Goff?
Jared Goff, I think.
I'm with you there.
You think Jared Goff?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so far we're right in line. Dak or Brock Purdy?
Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy with a bullet.
Yeah,
Mr.
for
Relevant.
sure.
Dak or Matt Stafford?
Matt Stafford's the better quarterback.
Matt Stafford. Dak or Jordan Love?
I'm going to go Dak right now, but I haven't seen enough Jordan Love yet.
I would go Jordan Love all day. I think he's got it. Dak or Geno Smith?
Geno Smith is the better quarterback.
Geno Smith is the better quarterback.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now, a couple other guys. Dak or Kyler Murray?
Definitely Dak Prescott.
I might go Kyler.
No way.
I might go Kyler.
No way.
And finally, Dak or Kirk Cousins. They're so linked together.
The crazy thing is that Kirk Cousins now is leading the league and pass percentage almost, completion percentage, efficiency, yards, and Dak has had those years too. And I'm not understanding the step back that Dak has taken right now. I'm still taking Dak over Kirk.
So you have Dak as essentially the fifth best quarterback in the NFC.
In the NFC, by this list,
yeah,
best quarterback in the NFC is probably is it Jalen Hurts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you probably have him sixth?
Yeah. So Jalen Hurts probably, and then
it's so sad because Dak we had, pretty high up, third best quarterback.
Like I said, I don't want to put too much stock in what happened this week. Really upset with what Dak did. I think he forced a pass. I think the whole Cowboy Nation felt the pressure losing that game, and he did something crazy, right? But I will say this. I have Dak at I don't know. You heard my picks right here. Take it how you want.
Yeah, listen, nobody's expecting Dak to be the man. Nobody's expecting him to win MVPs.
No.
We're just expecting him, listen, be
efficient.
Be who you are. Be that okay quarterback that can game manage. I know everybody thinks that's a negative phrase. It's not.
It's not.
Okay. You can win a Super Bowl.
Give me a 3 to 4. Give me a 4-to-1, 3-to-1 touchdown ratio. Be efficient.
Hand the ball off.
Throw, 68% completion.
Feed CD.
240 yards a game.
And let your defense actually play defense.
Let them eat
get off the field.
and give Tony Pollard the ball.
Absolutely. You're not wrong at all.
All right, let me finish it out with a 3 and out.
Okay.
This is the last one of our 3 and out. And what a better way to do this with some baseball.
Yes.
All right, so Cheech. Ronald Acuna is 2 steals away from 40-70 season. And you called this way back. You the man.
Called this in May. Called it in May. Love Ronald Acuna.
336, 101 RBIs. God, 415 on base percentage. Let me ask you this.
He needs to win MVP.
But I think he wins MVP.
I hope so.
But here's the question. Let's rank it up against some of the better MVP seasons that we've seen.
Yeah.
So you ready for this? I'm going to say this and you have to pick the season.
Gotcha.
So I just told you Ronald Acuna's stats.
Yep.
So Ronald Acuna's MVP season this year, saying he gets MVP, versus Ryan Howard's Philadelphia Phillies 2006 season. 318 batting average, 58 home runs, 149 RBIs, and a 425 on base percentage.
Give me Acuna, just because what he's done this year on the base path wreaks havoc. Howard was a big bopper, 58 home runs. I
Huge,
get that.
yeah.
Give me Acuna.
Okay, that's interesting. This one, Albert Pujols, 2009. How about them Cardinals? Okay, 327 batting average, 47 home runs, 135 RBIs, and a 443 on base percentage. Are you taking peak Albert Pujols, or are you taking Ronald Acuna right now?
I'm going to catch hell. Acuna.
That's crazy,
I'm going to
Coach.
catch hell. Listen, 40-70 is wild, okay? You're telling me he had 7 less home runs than Pujols that year, but again, had 70 steals? Get out of here.
Pujols could be a top 10, 15 all-time MLB player.
Yeah, and Acuna just had a better season than he did.
That's crazy. Okay, good. This one's interesting. Ronald Acuna this year, again, 40-70 guy, 2 more steals against Ichiro Suzuki's 2001 season. 350 batting average, 8 home runs, 69 RBIs, 58 stolen bases, and a 381 on base percentage. Hey, listen, didn't sound crazy, but this guy was crazy.
This rookie of the year.
You had to see it.
Yes.
To understand. The statistics don't match up sometimes.
He won a Gold Glove that year as well,
did.
I think.
Shortstop.
You know what? Give me Acuna. Give me Acuna. No. This is Acuna. What he's doing this year is better than any Ichiro season.
Okay, we're going to go Acuna this year versus Miguel Cabrera's 2013. This is the year after he won the Triple Crown. 348 batting average, 44 home runs, 137 RBI, and 442 on base percentage. Are you taking Acuna or are you taking Cabrera?
Wins the Triple Crown and then has a better year the next year.
That's crazy.
I mean, I'm going Acuna again. I'm going
You're
Acuna.
stuck on the 40-70.
I'm not stuck. Listen, I'm also Acuna's probably going to win a Gold Glove at shortstop.
Who's the last person to do 40-70?
The list is very short. It's Ronald Acuna and Ronald Acuna.
This is why I teach is so stuck on this right now. I want to put it in perspective. What he's doing, we haven't ever seen.
I think there are 4 guys who are 40-40 guys.
Yeah, 40-40. There was one 40-50.
Yep, and that was Barry Bonds, I believe.
Correct.
And guess what? There are no 46. Oh, wait. Yeah, there is. Acuna. And 40-70. Oh, yeah, that would be Acuna.
Acuna also.
So he's doing what Barry Bonds did, except for he has more speed. This is...
It's crazy. So that's
now
just perspective.
We're going to start getting some tough ones.
Yeah, let's talk about the tough one. Let's talk about the 2022. This is last year. No, we're not going to 2016.
Okay.
Let's do Mike Trout 2016 versus this year Acuna. Mike Trout, 315 batting average, 29 home runs, 30 stolen bases, 100 RBIs, and a 444 on base percentage.
He had a 10.5 WAR.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was one of the highest of all time. I'm still going Acuna. All right.
Over Mike Trout?
Yes, over that Mike Trout season. I'm going Acuna. What he's doing is bananas. He leads the league. He's got like 138 forced pickoffs or something like that.
It's crazy.
It's 40 higher than anybody else. So he's drawing attention.
So when I saw your list, I said, this is the one he's going to pick over Acuna. Okay, this is why.
This has got
Teach the big Yankees fan. Let's talk about this. Aaron Judge's 2022 year. Okay, the year before he got hurt. Okay, so let's talk about this. Aaron Judge, 311 batting average, 62 home runs, 131 RBIs, and a 425 on base percentage. You taking Acuna this year? Or you taking Aaron Judge this year?
62 home runs, broke the American League record.
Yes,
you know the American
formerly
League
held by
Roger Maris.
Yeah.
1961, another Yankee. I can't go against Acuna. I'm going Acuna again.
Teach surprises me.
Historic. 40-70, 62. I get it. Listen, I know you're going to catch hell. I understand. Whatever. I'm going Acuna here.
Yeah, that's wild. Okay. One more. I'm going to give you one more. Barry Bonds, 2001. Okay. Barry Bonds, 328 batting average, 73 home runs, 137 RBIs, and a 515 on base percentage. Now, Barry Bonds season 2001, 2004. The guy's only got 4 MVPs, right?
MVP 4 straight seasons.
4 straight seasons. We're going to go with the 2001 season. Take your pick. Acuna or Bonds.
His averages were nuts.
They're crazy. They're crazy. My dad told me early, it was late 90s. We were watching baseball, and my dad said Barry Bonds was playing, and he said, this guy doesn't strike out. It's crazy. And my dad wasn't this huge baseball fan from Baltimore, grew up in Baltimore, and so he's a big Orioles fan. And he would I remember my first introduction to baseball being Barry Bonds, and my dad going, you can't strike him out.
No. You walk him or he gets a home run.
Yeah, you can't strike him out.
I love Ronald Acuna. Barry Bonds, that season was magical.
Barry Bonds is the villain of baseball.
Yeah, you know what? He is, but what Barry Bonds did on a baseball field is amazing. I would pick Barry's season over Acuna.
Really?
That's the only one I would go with over Acuna. And let me tell you, it's very hard saying that. I love everything about what Ronald Acuna Jr. has done this season, everything he stands for baseball, that it's not just a power strikeout league,
Yeah.
that he gets on the base, wreaks havoc. But
Again,
Bonds 01, 73 home runs was historic in it and made me appreciate the game of baseball. Time with my dad, talking baseball. Everybody acted like Ken Griffey Jr. has the sweetest swing in baseball. Barry Bonds has the one that everybody tried to mimic.
I think Ken Griffey Jr. would have been the greatest baseball player ever
if he didn't get hurt.
But Bonds is the best ball hitter that we've ever seen in the MLB.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, rest in power, Brooks Robinson, long time, great third baseman for your Baltimore Orioles. Passed away today. What an amazing ball player. What an amazing ambassador for the game, for the Orioles. Hopefully the Orioles, you know, as a Yankees fan, I hope the Orioles win the World Series this year.
Come on, man.
I just think this could be that year. A lot of great
something happens, brings them in emotionally.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
I think so. It's going to be fun watching them in the playoffs. So to wrap it up, Ronald Acuna Jr. ahead of everyone except for Barry Bonds. Sorry, Aaron Judge.
Can we try something before we get off?
Please do.
Let's just run through a recap. Can we recap really quick?
Yeah.
So this episode, college grades given out. Highest score, Oregon, A+.
Yeah.
Lowest score, Notre Dame with an F.
Absolutely.
College grades.
Heisman
hopefuls.
We all know it's between two guys for Heisman. Guys. It's Michael Penix or it's Caleb Williams.
It's two guys. That's right. NFL. Crazy year so far. Dallas Cowboys fall to Arizona, and the Miami offense can't be stopped.
They might be the best team.
Yeah. That leads us talking about Miami. We got some good games going on this week. Miami, Buffalo. I took Buffalo, and you're the Bills fan.
I got the Dolphins and that unstoppable offense.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see where we go right now, okay? And then we went with best picks, best bets, Pop Followers, best bets. We're taking Notre Dame at -5.5. Jacksonville this week at -3, and we're taking the Vikings at -3 at Carolina.
3 for 3.
Love those picks. 3 and outs. We're benching Zach Wilson.
Absolutely.
Give Russell Wilson a little bit of time. Desmond Ridder, we haven't seen enough yet. And Justin Fields needs to change the scenery.
Yeah.
It's for Justin Fields.
It's a lot. And, hey, Dak might be the 5th or 6th best quarterback in the NFC alone.
He's definitely not 1 or 2 right now. Right?
Definitely not. Playing his way out.
And the only MVP season ever better than Ronald Acuna's this year, 40, 70 possible year, was Barry Bonds 2001.
Absolutely. That's the episode.
That's
Hopefully
crazy.
you guys enjoyed it. Next week, we'll be hitting you up again. Make sure you comment on everything, okay?
Yeah.
Check us out, subscribe, like, do all the things you're supposed to do. And remember, we're not here for click. Oh, wait, yeah.
Yeah, we are.
We're here for clicks.
Yeah.
See you next time. 3 for 3.